Hi, my name is Chris Erskine, and this is Hamilton Artist Update number 21. This week's theme is the Hamilton 24-Hour Film Festival. I want to say what a wonderful experience I had. It was a really good experience, very exciting. My team, FatCats-StarvingDogs, Shani, Aaron, and Jane all had a fantastic time. It was really a very positive experience. Very appreciative of the organizers who put the effort into staging this event. I believe this is year seven I believe, for the event, and they've done a wonderful job, and I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to competing next year. So a couple things I want to talk about related to the event. First off, FatCats-StarvingDogs did not make the top 10. Our film Seize the Day was one of the 17 other films that did not make the top 10. And so I'd like to encourage everyone who participated in this year's festival to upload their films to Vimeo or YouTube, whichever their choice, and let everyone know by tweeting it out using the hashtag H24. And because it's such a shame not to be able to see these films. I was at the gala, I saw the 10 films, and I think at this point only less than half are posted, and there's another half a dozen or so, less than half a dozen of the other 17 posted, including our own. And so you put all this effort in, and why wouldn't you want to show it off? And it also, for those of us who are trying to improve, it gives us a sense of what other people are doing, what are the lessons to be learned, both those who made it and didn't make it, and also, how did, it's good to see a diversity of approaches, and by only having a few films out there, you don't have that diversity. And this is not just unique to this year. I reviewed the last, back to 2008, there's not a lot of the festival's films out there. Now, the Vimeo and YouTube have been evolving since that time, so is the equipment. But so in the last couple of years, there's really no reason why someone can't upload their film. So I would really encourage you to do that. I have also run into the organizers of the 24-Hour Film Festival and asked them to take the lead on this, because they have all the contact information. They could contact the teams and say, by the way, why don't you put up your films onto YouTube or Vimeo, and then we'll host it on our website, or provide links to it on our website. From my perspective, it's a win-win situation, because then you create a bigger fan base of support. You create a hub or a community around the 24-Hour Hamilton Film Festival, and people can see what's out there that might encourage and spark other ideas. One of the reasons I decided to be involved this year was the film Under the Table, which won, I can't remember if it was first or third in 2012. I was very inspired by that. It was a very simple concept, played out, limited camera setups and so forth, and it was a great piece of theater, and I really enjoyed it. And these guys competed this year, and you guys have not posted as far as I'm aware, and I think your title of your project was going to be High Tides, and I saw some Twitter photos, and it looked like it was going to be a really interesting film, so I would hope you guys post as well. So post. It's a great thing. Share it to the world. Your efforts should not go in vain. I know you have personally a rewarding experience. Share it with the world. So that being said, I provided a list of all the films that I'm aware of, and if there's a link, if they're uploaded, I'm provided a link so that you can, it's like one-stop shopping. Again, I'm hoping the organizers will do something a little bit more fancy and put something on their website. I've also included links below this posting to all the various video blogs postings I did of us through the past week or so that you could follow what's going on and my evolution through the process, and hopefully that will be helpful to you. In my research and preparing for the 24-Hour Film Festival, I did not find a lot of first-hand accounts of being in a film festival, 24-hour film festival, or how-to on how to do a 24-hour film festival. The one exception, is a very good exception by the way, is the McMaster 24-hour film festival. They did a how-to video. I'll try to put a link to that somewhere on my blog site, and I found that particularly useful in the guidance on how much time to spend on script writing, storyboarding, filming, and editing. And what they recommended that you spend most of the time on your script writing and on your coming up with the story, and the second on your editing. We did about a third. We spent from 10 o'clock till about 2 o'clock doing this, coming up with the story, and then me spending about an hour storyboarding it out. From 2 to 6 we did the filming, so that's another 4 hours. And then from 6 to about 1:30 I did the editing and then the rendering. The editing was done at Tim Hortons, my famous film studio where I do a lot of my work. And then I came home and then had the computer crunch up the rendering job and then transferred it over to the memory stick. So that was that. Now, where do I go from here in the future? I definitely will compete next year. There's a basic philosophical question I'm trying to struggle with, which is, can amateurs who are not actors and not in the film industry actually compete with those who are? There's actors there's folks who are in the film industry, whether they're actors, editors, photographers, cinematographers, sound people who were involved, and then there was a number of studios who had professional equipment. There was a music studio, there was a number of media companies that produce ads in the local area. Can you actually compete with these folks, or are you always destined to be a runner-up? So that's a question I'm trying to answer. I think one of the big difference between those who, from what I've seen on the small sample that I have, both of the winners and the top 10 and those who weren't in the top 10, is that those with actors had a much stronger chance of being in the top 10. And I guess that makes sense, but you know, when you're not, I come from more of a documentary approach, so I'm not using actors, and I'm more thinking of the technical side of things rather than on the acting the theatrics of it. That's a big issue. But that's solvable, I suppose. I'll have to give more thought about how I would recruit actors for next year. But beyond that, and then writing, of course, having experience, coming up with a good concept. Some people who experience with writing on a tight time frame probably would have been very helpful. So those are the two biggest things I can see that separated those who didn't make the top 10 from those who did. Then even if you have those, could you still do it if you're not in the industry? I don't know. That's something I'm struggling with. And if you can't, is there another way of taking advantage of it? Like, I'm an artist. I do prints, I do paintings, I do inks and washes, that sort of thing. That's my forte. So is it I'm not using maybe my strengths. Maybe I should come at this as in an artistic way, something that's off the wall, more an artistic interpretation of a film rather than the traditional theater popular release kind of movie, sort of the Woody Allen, if I could ever be in that sort of camp. But a more indie kind of kooky film than more of a traditional straight-on film. Or should it be more of an animated, remove the actors and move into animation? The challenge is it's only 24 hours. Sheridan College has a 24-hour film festival. Their clips are around 10 or 20 seconds, so that won't really cut it because it's just giving you a sample. You want to actually tell a story, and I think at the minimum you probably need 2 minutes. Our film came in at 2.5 minutes, so I was very happy with. 3 minutes when she had the credits in. So 2.5 minutes of animation, that's a lot of time. And 24 hours is not a lot of time to do it. So that's something I'm going to have to give some consideration about. how do I approach this challenge next year? Do I stay traditional, get some actors, some people with screenwriting ability, improve my camera work, improve the variety of shots, color? So I'm just learning about color correction now, mastery, get more experience with Adobe Premiere software, work that side of the equation, and if I do all that, would I be on a more competitive basis to a level where I have a realistic chance of making it into top 10? I don't know. I don't know for sure that everyone who was in the top 10 had professional experience or a serious amateur experience. Definitely the ones who are the strongest ones had really good actors on it, even if they were amateur and not, full-time actors. So, and then there's some serious, when someone shows up with a Blackmagic camera, that's a different kettle of fish. Or some, some of the editing was quite amazing. So, so that's something I'm going to have to reflect on, but I do know that my team is very excited about participating next year, and so they'll certainly be involved. How that expresses itself, I don't know. So anyhow, thanks for sticking with me. I hope my list of films are useful to you, and I hope my list of kind of personal blog over the last blog entries over the last week, the video blogs, also are useful for those who are considering participating next year or want a different perspective on this year's film festival if you competed in it. So anyhow, take care till next time. Take care. Bye. And I think that's a wrap.